Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Intangible Tangents. So today you have, again, your normal hosts, Mars and also Paracetamol. Joined today with us are our two really lovely guests, Apple and Soup.
Yay!
Say hi,
Yippee!
guys.
Hello.
Alright, so the topic of today's podcast will be dum da da dun. Is a balanced game a good game?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this topic I find very interesting personally because I feel like it has a lot of depth to it. So I think the first thing we need to tackle for this question is what do you guys think it means for a game to be balanced? Like we're talking multiplayer. A single player, I think balance or not doesn't really matter too much. We can talk about that later on, but I want to focus more on multiplayer games. So you guys can start first, or your opinions on balance.
Hmm.
Deep thoughts
I
are
think
being sunk.
You know that. Never mind.
I think to keep things balanced in a multiplayer game, it's where developers have to make it fair between the players, so that they both have equal chances of winning. And uh, for competitive games, this is where it's a lot more stressed because in a competitive setting, preferably you want to keep it fair. Um, there's a lot of cases in the competitive scene where uh, organizers come up with sudden rules and changes because there are some unintended features that players have found during a match, for example. And I think without balance in these games, it becomes less fun. But also, there's like a balance to how you balance the game. Because if you make it too restrictive, then it if you make it too restrictive, then
Go on.
you make it too restrictive, then players lose creativity in the way they play. But if you don't restrict enough, then they get away with stupid things. Like I remember back in CS:GO, there was a there was a an unintended feature where players could. I think even in Valorant nowadays, where there are just some gaps and pixels on the map where players can just climb up, and no one will ever expect that. And in a competitive play where it's just so sudden, it becomes like that's so cool, that's so creative. But then organizers have to realize, like, is that okay? You know, like we've never seen this before. I don't think the game's supposed to have this.
Yeah, I remember in CS it was like you could do it by stacking on top of each other like a totem pole and jumping across, right?
Yeah.
It was
Actually,
vertical, right?
I think it was in Nuke. Was it Nuke? You get onto the garage roof,
I think it
like
was
that, right?
Yeah, there's also one on Overpass where you
Yeah.
can see the
Yeah,
whole.
There's a
Overpass.
couple.
It's
That's
all like
fun.
competition, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was during
And
competition.
There would be so many clips of it, and it would be playing like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle soundtrack because there's like four guys having to stack on top of each other. It was hilarious.
and I
It was
think
so OP.
and I think this was also a problem in Valorant a few years back when VCT first started off. Uh, I forgot what team was it, but I remember there was a team that abused a Breeze camera glitch, and they were given
Oh my gosh,
warning. Yeah, and they
I remember that
ultimately
one too.
got disqualified because they kept abusing that, bug.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a glitch where like a player could jump on Sova's drone and
Yeah.
turn into a green goblin
Oh my god. Yep.
from Spider
Yeah.
Man?
Yeah. Oh no, I
Not just
remember.
not just the drone. There was also the one for the scan, the recon arrow,
You
where
could jump on the arrow.
yes, a jet would dash up, and then the soul would just shoot the arrow, and then it sends them
You could
flying across
follow
the
it.
map.
Oh, that's hilarious. Like
Oh
Apex something.
no. There was also, I forgot if this actually made it into post beta game, like when the official release came out. But there was this glitch on the Cypher camera where you could give it a shorty and it could shoot other players.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I know this one.
I
Yeah,
could hold on to a gun. That was
that's
way earlier,
hilarious.
and they patched it out before any
That's
competitive games
funny.
are out.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That
It was
that
ridiculous.
was
But
crazy.
yeah, how about you, Sue? What are your thoughts on balance in the game?
Yeah.
Uh, Very huge opinions on balance. I mean, if you talk about multiplayers, it's like for live service games, it's so difficult like to keep up. Like each season, the meta is just always changes. Apex, for example, it's just even like right now. I go back to Apex. It's like the meta is just all different. Even the TTKs and whatnot. So. I mean, for players who are constantly, engaged with the game, it's easy. But for like long-time players, kind of difficult. But I understand why they change it. Cause like if you just have a meta build, then everyone's been using the same guns basically. I'm talking about FPS, and
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
it's. I mean, it makes the game a bit stale lah. So balancing here and there, I think it's a good thing. But then again, overbalancing will be an issue lah. It's like balancing everything is just, yeah, it's just like it's not fun.
Yeah, fair enough.
Mhm.
I mean, I played Apex also a few weeks ago, and like I noticed one thing I didn't really like about the new changes, is that every gun has this more or less the same TTK. Like it's really more or less. So whenever I'm using a gun, it's like it feels like every gun can like 100 to 0 you in like 2 seconds. So it's like I
Yeah,
thought it
it
was
feels-
like go on.
Oh, sorry. It feels more like a bit like codish now. I mean, back then
Yeah.
it was long as well, but then I mean my ADHD brain can't handle it lah. So I sort of prefer the current one, but then you just get tapped for no reason.
Yeah, but I feel like it makes each gun lose their like identity.
yeah.
You know, it's like last time like you can use the rampage to break down doors, but now it has the same TTK as like R99. It's like why would you use the R99 then? You know, it's like just use the rampage. It shoots doors down. Like what?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like yeah. And like the rampage is easier to handle as well, and like R99 is only like short range. Like, oh, maybe it has like 0.2 better TTK. You know, it's like 0.2 seconds better. Like, who cares, dude? Like, yeah, but like
Using
on the
math.
other hand,
That's what makes
yeah, it
me-
was very I don't know. I don't think I agree with that change too much because I feel like every gun is the same. But I'm not really like an Apex veteran. I only play like every 3 months, so I
Yeah.
can't really say.
I mean, after Battlefield came out, right? So like, returning to Apex is like, nah, this ain't it, chief. I prefer Battlefield.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Okay, how about you, Ki?
Me? So I feel
Mhm.
like my experience with a lot of like balancing games is technically from Gacha, specifically Genshin Impact.
More single player lah.
Yeah, definitely more
Yeah,
single
no,
player.
you can still.
Yeah, but the thing is that with Genshin, and ultimately the reason why I stopped playing it was because of how unbalanced the game was getting the more it progressed. Because you get like a lot of like formerly meta characters suddenly become like useless or like horrendous, and you can't really no amount of good artifacts can fix or like help it to do better damage. Take for example Eula. When she came out,
Ah.
everyone wanted that piece of booty, man. I mean, sorry, everyone wanted her,
Yeah,
right?
power creeping. It's an
Yeah.
issue in a lot of games where
Yes.
newer, newer,
Newer character.
newer characters, new weapons come out, and
Yeah.
then the previous ones just become obsolete, and it's like,
Call that power creep, right?
And with Eula,
Yes.
it was just really sad because she was the first ever, if I remember correctly, physical damage character that was like fully so focused on like that specific aspect. And after her, we never really got anything similar or close to that like type of category in characters.
But that's like the thing with Eula, though. I don't think it's honestly. I don't even blame power creep per se on Eula being bad. I think like the entire idea of her design was always doomed to be bad in the first place because the reason why she performed well when she released is because they changed the what's it called, the abyss, the enemies, to enemies who don't have physical damage resistance. The only reason physical is bad is because 80% of the enemies have resistance to like physical damage, right? So like she doesn't do any damage against them.
Mm.
Like if you look at her damage numbers against like somebody with zero resistance, and then look at another let's say like I don't know, like a Arlecchino, like the damage she does more or less the same. Maybe it's slightly less luck because Arlecchino's newer, right?
Yeah.
But like she does the same. But then they decide to put like every goddamn enemy in the game has physical resistance, which is why she's like the only one, because they wanted her to be like a niche character, but like her niche was so niche that she became like the most dog shit character in the game. Because to this day, I don't think there's anybody who's using her just because like there's no place for her in the game. Physical damage was never a thing. It was never a thing. Even back in like when the game first released, it was never a thing.
It really wasn't.
So I don't know. It's more. I think in that sense, it's not really power creep's fault. I'm not saying Genshin doesn't have power creep. It does, but I think Eula is an exception to that. She wasn't power creep. She was cursed from birth to be bad. It was never gonna work. It was never gonna work.
Okay.
They made it work because they catered the game towards her. So like no enemies have physical resistance. And at the moment the next patch drops, it's like, oh, by the way, this guy has 70% physical resistance.
Yeah.
She's gonna like tickle their balls and nothing's gonna happen. Like, look at this idiot. He spent his hard-earned free-to-play gems on a character who was good for 2 weeks.
But then, right, it also brings up the issue of players then not being satisfied with how the developer is taking the game into certain directions. Because another example of a game I want to bring up that deals with balancing the game, at least in my opinion, relatively well is Fate Grand Order. Because a lot of the older characters that came out, take for example the most popular one,
Saber.
Saber, yeah. Saber to this day is super viable, like even till late game. And even with newer characters coming out, like let's say Dante in the JP server, and he's considered like to be like really powerful, OP and stuff like that, she can still hold up really well against like the newer characters to this day. Because the game keeps on patching in new updates, giving older character buffs, and like, you know, adjusting things here and there to be able to like, you know, fit with the current path the game is taking, and also to allow players with who already like spend either their money or their, you know, blood, sweat, and tears to grind for gems to still have very viable characters.
Yeah, I understand.
So in a
Yeah, I
way,
mean that's go on.
no, in a way, at least in my opinion, a balanced game can be a good game, but at the same time, if the thoughts are being tunk by the developer to only get the cash monies, the game, as long as most of its fan base likes it for whatever reason, either fan service or really nice graphics, whatever, it can still be considered a
Really
good
nice
game.
graphics.
Yeah. Yeah, FGO and their really nice graphics. But regardless, I mean, for whatever reason, it can still be considered a good game because having or like liking a game because it's good is really subjective from person to person.
Yeah, I think what you mentioned with FGO, we can sort of segue it back into the multiplayer aspect. But okay, we sort of touched on like power creep, right, in single player games, but I think it's very much so apparent in like multiplayer games as well. I think one instance of power creep that I think most of us are familiar with would be what's her name? Was it Clover in Valorant?
Clove.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, she can just revive herself, guys. It's like, okay, man, sure, dude. Like, oh, by the way, she also has smoke. It's like, okay, man, sure, dude. Also, she has a decay. Okay, man, sure, dude. It's like, is she really a controller, or is she like a duelist with smokes? That's why I don't even play the goddamn game, but when I saw her kid, their kid, I was like, is that really a controller? It doesn't really look like a controller to me, at least. Like for me. And I think like just the fact that Clove can smoke even when when they're dead, is like kind of funny to me. It's like, okay, so like you know how like controllers, they always have to play safe so they don't like goddamn die in the first 2 minutes and then no smokes on the team, right? But then Clove can just ignore that. I always thought it was very brain dead. You know what I mean? It's like it takes up one of the more important aspects of the role, which is to not die and play safe. And then it's just like, oh, don't worry, you can die, don't worry about it. I think that's one instance of power creep I always find a bit strange, is when a character is just more convenient to play. Not even like better, it's just more convenient. It's like, okay, man, like what's the point of like learning how to play the role if if a new character release and it's just better, like by default, you know?
Yeah. With Clove, I know for a fact that that Riot nerfed them like a lot, like to the point where even their smoking abilities are like really weak. That when you decide on what strategy to pick to take control of a site, for example, you'll really have to time everything correctly, because then if you miss out like 3 seconds of time, that smoke is gonna run out, and then you'll have less like areas to cover on the site. And then with the the reviving themselves, I think that one is not too OP in a sense, because the timer on that revive is really short. Because the way the character works is that once they die, they have to get a kill to continue living. Otherwise, they'll just die again immediately after that. And it's such an easy thing to like counter because you can just run away from it. Every time I play like competitive against a Clove, you can always make the choice of just completely leaving the fight, just like run away, run off, and then they would just die, and that's the end of it. You know, it becomes obsolete at some point. And then the decay, yeah, that one I don't remember it being
It
too
really
good.
wasn't too good back when
Yeah.
it first released, honestly.
I mean, if you manage to get like a point blank hit with the decay, yeah, that's great. But a lot of the times, it doesn't bother you too much because you really need to also again time your abilities if you're gonna use your abilities and pair it up with another. But when it comes to like fighting and gunplay, you have a lot of things to consider with regards to, oh, I'm gonna pull out my ability in the middle of a fight, and then I'm vulnerable. What else are my teammates doing? You know? And yeah, the smokes. That's a good point you brought up earlier. How it just makes them a very bad agent
player.
for that role alone. Yeah, which is a controller, a smoke, and it becomes like, what is this agent for? You know, they play more like a duelist. Half of the time, they don't even smoke up because you're busy fighting, so they can continuously heal themselves, die, and then come back alive. So yeah.
Yeah. What's the third ability? It's the smoke, the decay, and what's the third one?
Heal up. They can overheal
Yeah.
themselves after they take damage. So
Oh yeah.
But that's also
Yeah.
just for a generally limited amount of time.
Holy
yeah,
Reina.
it is for them. Yeah, it's
Holy
like
Reina.
Yeah.
it's like a Reina, but like a very like for a very short period of time, and it forces them to really like stay in the fight and make full use of it. So it's like do or die, you know, for that agent.
Which is very much so antithesis to what the controller role is supposed to be. Well,
Exactly.
whether or not that's a good thing, I can't really say. It's an interesting take, I'd say. That's all I want to say. I don't play the game enough to know this specifically, but let's move away from Valorant for a bit. But we're on the topic of what was it? Power creep, right? Yeah, power creep. I think power creep like can definitely like tip the scales of like a balanced game, because like when you release a new character or a gun, you want to give them like new abilities. For example, you know Soop. You know how they give the arrow guy a double jump in Apex.
Oh yeah, it's the new
Arrow.
hero, right?
Yeah. You know how many people would love to have a double jump in a movement shooter game?
Yes.
It's like,
Oh.
might as well give him a third gun. Wait, they did it with another legend. Never mind. I forgot. What's his
Running
name?
ability.
Ballistic? Yeah.
Soon, wall running soon.
So yeah. So it's always like they made a new character and they were like, okay, how do we make this appealing so people spend money on this, or like, you know, they want to try, you know, like, of course, I mean, if you make on one hand, if you power creep, I think is not necessarily a bad thing, because if you make like a character like boring, a new character, like no one's gonna play it and a lot of hype is gonna die. But at the same time, it can be a bit annoying too, especially to like those older characters. Like you compare like at least in Apex, like you compare like Sparrow's kit. He's like a turret that can like mark you. He can a turret that damages you. He can double jump, and then you look at fucking Caustic, and all he does is fart on you, and that's it. His tactical is a fart mine. His grenade is a fart grenade, and then his passive is he can see you when you're in the farts. Like what?
The whole thing is just farting.
Yeah, that's it. It's like his kit is like you see his passive. It's basically like tied to the tactical, and the tactical is just the ulti is just a tactical, but you can throw it. It's like okay, and then you look at Sparrow. It's like I can double jump. Oh, by the way, I can put apa ni? I have like improved handling with the bow weapon. I have like it's just stupid to me lah. I think, in my opinion.
I mean,
Like seeing
remember like back then where they have Seer that you could just wall hack everyone.
exactly. He wall hacks and he would silence you and he would damage you and also he would like track your heartbeat, which is like the only way to detect a person without the person knowing you're detecting them. It's like okay, dude.
And he can stun your heals and shields as well.
Yeah.
It's the funniest thing ever.
But
like the best.
But it was fun to play. That's the thing. It was fun to play him because like you use a character that's new who's like overpowered, whose kit is like power creeping the older characters, and it's fun. But then like it's not fun for everyone else.
Then they nerf the shit out of him.
Yeah, exactly.
Now it's just
And that's one thing also. Like, what do you guys think about like huge nerfs on a character? Like, for example, let's say. Like we'll use Seer as an example, right? He's a character who did so many things. He could see through walls and he could track enemy movements. But now they nerfed him so much to where he sort of does the same thing, but like half of what he did. Like you would see a person for like maybe half duration, and he would damage for like I don't think he even damages anymore. But like a lot of Seer players stopped playing him because he was nerfed so badly to the point where playing him feels off. So what do you guys think about like this kind of approach to like balance where they're like the developers like okay, we gotta like neuter this guy to the ground to make sure that the players stop complaining?
I think if the developers only took into account like players' complaints instead of looking at the data, like the raw numbers of like what's actually going on, I think it's not a good practice because like you'll satisfy your player base, but at the same time, are you making the game fun still? Like that's like whatever you said just now about Seer, right? That's what makes the character unique compared to the other characters. And what is that character if it's not the uniqueness anymore? Like why play it? If it's not good, what's the point? Why pick the character? So I think there has to be like a balance to what you do to a character. Instead of neutering him to the ground, like you said, you could always just slowly add patches where it would either reduce by a minute amount of what the character can do, instead of just completely nuke it to the ground.
For context, that's kind of what they did, but they did that for like 10 patches straight.
Wow.
It was like, we're gonna take this away. We're gonna take this away, right, Soop?
Yeah, it was horrendous. Like they take away the radius of the thing, and then they take away the ability to stun people. I believe the stunning one is like the major issue, but like the rest is just like, oh man, you really nerf it to the ground, and now you're rebuffing it. It's like, why?
Yeah, it's like that's one thing I hate when they nerf the character and then they're like, oh, we overshot, we gotta buff him again. It's like
when they rebuffed this character, did they have another character like added to the game?
Oh yeah.
Then I guess that's a way where they like try to keep the balance. You know, there's another character that can, I don't know, maybe counter it. Then only then they could like consider like, oh, let's not make this guy too useless, because then we have other characters that can counter her, for example.
Yeah. No, the character that he was competing with was an old character, like an OG character, a Bloodhound. Because they both sort of like did the same thing where they press button and then you can see through walls. But like Seer's caveat was that he could do it in a specific direction, like a small little like noodle size, like a beam. And Bloodhound was like big AoE circle in front of him. So but even like when Seer was released, he was so good because his vision did things other than vision. But now it I guess it still kind of does those things, but like barely. So like people are just like, it's not really worth the smaller radius as compared to like the big like the big like just like cone in front of you. So I think that's why they were like sort of like micro buffing him a bit. That they were trying to like focus on the aspects that made it different. You know, the trade off to it's small, but like it also does this. But I just don't think they did enough. I'm not really sure. It's hard to say. But the character hasn't really been present at all.
Surprisingly, he was my main.
No, I feel
Yeah.
bad for you.
Yeah, he was my main. I mean, he's the only characters that I know how to actually play it. And yeah, they took it away, but the ultimate is still okay. Still pretty good, ultimate.
The big dome of vision, right?
Yeah, big dome of all hacks.
Yeah, you can just see their feet.
You don't see their feet.
Nah, like you see their footsteps like appearing on the around the ultimate, like which is basically the same as seeing their body. I don't know why they decided to do that. It's the same. You know where they are in the end. You know where they are. It's so stupid that they made it just the feet, but I don't think it makes a difference. But whatever. Yeah. Anyone else have anything to say on nerfing? What do you guys think of nerfing?
PP.
You don't like nerfing?
I think nerfing sometimes is really necessary in games. Like, okay, let's go into fighting games now, where balancing is a really important aspect. So take Tekken, for example. When it first... Or Street Fighter 6, not Tekken. Tekken was the last one I played. I haven't played Street Fighter in forever. But Tekken, when Tekken 8 came out, oh my god, a lot of the characters were superb. But obviously, you had a lot of other characters who were really just meta over the others. Take, for example, I guess like the most famous would be Jin or Kazuya, because obviously Jin is the most beginner-friendly, he's the most brain-dead one you could use to play against anyone and easily win. Whereas with Kazuya, he's definitely more technical, tech-oriented, where you need to know the specific set of moves to make in order to win. And then when Season 2 came out, right, like when they did like some patches in the game and whatnot, everyone started going cuckoo bananas. Right.
I see.
Excuse me. And this was
Oh,
because
I think I remember when this happened. Yeah.
yeah, like a lot of us, we were like, what the fuck? Because a lot of the characters were nerfed for the sake of balancing, and a lot of things were just not making sense like they used to. Because Tekken 8 in general, I would say they had a lot of improvements from Tekken 7. For example, making Yoshimitsu extremely viable again. Or like, I don't know, like making a lot of characters that used to be unviable really viable again. But then when the second patch came out, everyone was like, wait, I can't fucking play my favorite hot guy or gal because now they're just unviable, especially in competitive. So it's just a bummer because for some games, it's like, okay, balancing and nerfing certain characters makes it much more enjoyable. Like in the case of Valorant with Clove, or I would dare say even Tejo when he first came out, because he was
Oh my god.
yeah
Hey Joe.
Tejo, yeah, that's mine.
Colombian man.
Yep.
He was so fucking
Dude.
powerful when he came out, and everyone was just not having a good time. Every time we saw an enemy Tejo, we were just like, Amito fo alhamdulillah, amen, amin.
That's
I
crazy.
think even until today, Tejo can be pretty annoying with
Tejo is-
postmat
He's
because
definitely, but
really-
it's not as annoying as when he first came out.
that's true.
Yeah.
It was a lot worse.
It
The
was-
range that he
the-
had was just so stupid.
The entire map, almost the entire map, that's just so stupid, bro. And I think in general, it just made the game like really unfun for some players, and which is why when they balanced him or nerfed him in like the next patch, everyone was just like, yippee!
Yippee!
Yippee! Well, yeah, I guess it really depends. It really depends on
Yeah.
player feedback, in my opinion. If the game is already good, you don't try to fix what isn't broken. That's the golden rule.
Fair enough.
Developers need to know that. They need to learn that.
I need
Yeah.
to take a hammer and start going to their doors, bro.
Yeah. Don't fix what isn't broken.
Yeah.
I break the dooring and fix it, right? See, one of the nerfs that I can think of from Counter Strike, CS:GO, was the op.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And they nerfed the movement speed while you were scoped in the op, and that threw off so many players at that time. And I think it balances out the fact that it's a one shot gun, right? Like if it shoots you, you're gone. You know, that's it in the story. But now you're impaired. You have less time to react. You're slower, and there's always the patches where they either up or reduce the cost of the up, and it makes you really think about like your economy, your budget, your power budgets, what you can do in a round or the next few rounds with what you have, and whether you should like consider letting them win, saving, losing the round to get some money so you can come back with a better weapon. But now since the op is nerfed, I think a couple of times. I remember the scope nerf was one, and then they fixed the accuracy of the op. I think they reduced it while you were shooting, and that was pretty major because it's a sniper rifle, so you expect it to be super accurate, but well, there's always a chance or you're gonna miss, right? Yeah.
You know, they throw like bunch of like pro players oppers back then. I remember like Kenny S, right? He was like
Oh
the
my
god
God.
tier of opper.
Yeah.
And then now it's just where's he?
Yeah,
Man, I
don't
feel
know
poor
why.
for him, man.
He was so good with the up, and then when that update rolled out, it was just struggling a lot. It just shows in the competitive scene. In a sense, like it balances out the fact that if this guy doesn't have the up anymore, like he's forced to use other guns. You know, maybe that's how they can help.
Yeah. Not necessarily a bad thing, I guess,
Yeah,
but
it's
not
not
really
necessarily
fun for the player.
Exactly. Yeah. Because he has solidified his role as an operator, but now if he can't use the op as good as he did, then
Mm.
what is he?
Can't really do much, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Maybe a Deagler?
A
Deagler?
Deagler, a Deagle demon, a Deagle demon.
Oh my god.
But okay, yeah. So I guess we've all mostly talked about nerfs. I think I'll weigh in a little bit, but I think nerfing something it should be, in my opinion, like the last resort. Like if it's something that where like there's really no other like way to like get around it, because I think a pretty cool thing that some developers, like a philosophy that they have, and we can move on to this, elaborate more on the next topic I have in mind, is that instead of like nerfing something, you buff the things that counter it. Now, this doesn't apply to like gun games, obviously. I think this is more for like ability, like MOBAs and shit like that. Like for example, like you can't buff a player's health so that they survive an op shot. You know, that's like that doesn't make any sense. You know, it's like, oh, give them 151 HP, so you have to hit shot with the op. Like, nah, that's not what I mean. But what I mean is like in like games like League of Legends or like Mobile Legends or whatever, right? Like you might have like a character who's like oppressive and stuff, but then like maybe you buff like items that counter it, and then that character's win rate goes down, but it still retains its like identity of like what it does. It's just that there's more ways to like punish it, you know. But like it's still the same character, sort of like I think in like Apex, right? One of the things that was always I guess this is sort of a form of power creep. A sort of like buffing thing. It was like one powerful character was Bangalore because she had a smoke. She's the only character with a smoke, right? And then basically instead of like making the smoke like bad, they just buffed every single like they buffed a specific class of legend, which is the recon class, to where if they scope in, they have like a thermal heat thing, so they can see through the smoke technically. And like if someone's in the smoke and they get hit by an ability that tracks them, you can see through the smoke. But the smoke, like I don't think they ever nerfed it or touched it. They might have like a few here and there, but I feel like the character of Bangalore still has like the same thing, but like she's just not as oppressive because there are so many ways to counter the smoke. But in the case where an opponent already used their ability or like they don't have a recon, then the smoke is like as good as it was like in the golden days. I think. Like you remember when like the only way to look through the smoke was the golden like hollow sight Soop. Like that was the only way you could see through it.
Yeah. Oh, that was
The one times golden hollow sight is the only way you could see it, other than like abilities lah.
Yeah. What happened to the new one? I didn't catch up like after season like 12.
I don't think the hollow sight exists anymore. The golden one times doesn't exist anymore because they introduced the thermal side or the hollow side, whatever you want to call it, to like the class for recon legends, like Pathfinder and stuff. So they can do that, yeah.
Basically, the whole hero class thing change, revamp or something.
Yeah, not Pathfinder, like Bloodhound. Like if you ADS and like there's a Bangalore inside of a smoke in your like ADS, you will see them. You can see them through the smoke.
Wow,
it's a scan, yeah. Yeah. But like Bangalore is still good as shit because first of all, if she's in the smoke, you have to like ADS and scan through the entire smoke to be able to catch her. It's not like a Bloodhound thing where you instantly see it, right? You have to she has to be in the sights itself. And if you know Bangalore, you know how fast she runs, she'll probably get out of the range like fast enough, which is why she's still good. Also, they gave it an EMP effect now, which is kind of crazy. But we let's not talk about that. I don't want to talk about that. But yeah. But I think this is a good segue to my next topic, which is what do you guys think about buffing like irrelevant or like power crap characters to keep up with the meta?
Do it. I think developers need to be less scared to do it because they need to know that their fan base might have just come for one character specifically or for like how the game is, like for myriad of reasons. But buffing a already power crap character that's been nerfed to the ground can also help retain that, fan base. Because a lot of times I notice developers or like game companies in general, they don't really care about player base retention because they know they can just keep bringing new players in. Again, look at single player games like Genshin Impact. This might be a little more difficult for multiplayer games on the other hand though. Like take for example maybe CS:GO, Valorant, Overwatch was one.
Oh my goodness.
Who you see that?
Oh,
don't say that. It's like Voldemort.
It's not two.
Overwatch.
One was better. But yeah,
Go on. At least it's not two.
Yeah. Like with the OG Overwatch, I remember I don't remember any significant no, I think it's when they buffed Mercy again after like nerfing her for something. I forgot.
Oh
exactly.
My goodness.
And she became so popular to use in the first game. Oh my goodness. Oh.
Yeah, fuck that. Fuck her. It was not fun to play against her.
The revive.
It was not fun to play against her, but it was super fun to play as her.
Yeah. That's why I have a whole paragraph basically talking about how much I hated playing against her in the docket that I put for this episode. I was like, nah, fuck this character, bro. Yeah. But I think that's one example of an unbalanced character. Mercy.
Yeah. The revive. Was it?
These are all, yeah.
Yeah.
It's low skill, it's easy to get, and it has the highest impact in the game. It was just
crazy.
It's just not fun.
Back then, you could bring the whole team back, right?
Yeah, easily. Now you revive one, it's still really good. But like last time, it's like, and it's an instant channel. It's like everyone's back up now. By the way, it's like okay, man.
At that point, you might as well just surrender, bro.
Yeah, you just AFK and let the revive 100% HP team roll you over because you have no HP resources or ults. Like okay, I'm dead.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
What's the point?
It came back full HP.
Yeah, full HP.
Wow.
There's no Marvel Rivals. There's no like you have 25%. It was full HP. It was full HP, full resources. Your cooldowns are off. Now your ults lah. Well, it was like okay.
That's crazy.
It wasn't really fun playing against. Yeah, you would spend 2 ults like to team wipe. Let's say like you Zarya like Black Hole and then like Reaper ult, and it's like okay team, let's go. We did a cool play, and then you hear that goddamn heroes never die, and then you're just like all right, I don't want to play this game anymore. I don't want to play this game anymore.
Heroes do die, guys, and that's gonna be
Yeah.
me.
But not my heroes, your heroes.
But yeah, but I think
Yeah.
in that sense, developers need to they need to come out with a power chart, or like
Mm.
yeah, like you know how like
Power
people, like you know how like in anime you have like I guess basic example, like in Hunter x Hunter with the whole like Nen abilities. And like it's like
Oh
really
my
detailedly like oh you got this Nen for doing this, you got this Nen for doing that. Like it's like a whole like really detailed like chart of like what certain things can do. They need to start implementing that and actually sticking to it, and not just like putting in some random bullshit go ass ability on their characters.
Like I wanna believe that they do, but like with some of the decisions developers have made with like their multiplayer games, it makes me wonder if they actually do that. Because like there's no way. It's such a basic and easy way to like measure your character's abilities and what they can do, right? There's no way you haven't thought of this. It's like basic 101. And if you're for some reason just ignoring whatever you drew up and just fucking fuck with
Like you
Just
decide
let
to
people
just
have fun, I
ball,
guess.
Yeah.
Let people have
Yeah.
fun, I guess.
yeah,
Like dude, that's just irresponsibility on your part.
Where the bullshit go?
yeah, exactly. Oh my god.
Everyone dies, and no one's having fun, but everyone's dead, so that's good.
Mm-hmm.
When you brought up mercy, it makes me think of like instead of nerfing or buffing, you could always rework, and that's
Yeah.
your last resort. I think
Yeah.
that should be
Fair
your last
enough.
resort instead of like. I think nerfing is still like a viable thing to do. It helps with balancing things out, but if it really doesn't work at all, just might as well just rework everything, right?
Yeah, fair enough. I just always thought, me personally, I always think buffs are fun. Maybe because I like seeing big numbers. Like when I see a nerf, I just get depressed. Like sometimes like you'll get like a quote unquote nerf patch. Like where everyone gets like cut down. It's like you've been too popular. It's like that. Like the whole patch is like dedicated to like
One
evening the
character.
playing field. I see those patches and I'm like, wow, this is such a boring ass patch. But then like you give me like the most nothing burger patch where it's like, guys, cooldown reduced by 0.5. I'm just like, okay, this is so peak, so peak. It's like the most nothing burger like buff. Like it's not a reduction. I'm so happy for you. Oh. And you get Coppers being like, this will be impactful in the next 2 patches. Like, okay.
I think for
That's just me.
I think for like competitive wise, I think it really does make a difference, because like you're expected to really watch out for these numbers. But for like someone who isn't, did I just hear?
Darling.
No, it didn't. It's okay. Move on.
Sorry, my bad.
Nothing, baby.
Okay.
Just do holiday. And right now.
My bad, twin.
Back on topic. So sorry, Akid. Go on.
So sorry.
No. That's the reason why we're called Intangible Tangents.
Because I have no idea what's going on anymore. And Aki's gonna forget what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
numbers,
Go on.
numbers. Ah, yeah,
Numbers.
competitive. I guess for like casual players, this is where like buffs or whatever. I wanna see like crazy changes. I want to see like I want things to go crazy in the match so I can have fun. I think that's more of like what casual players would want. But then when it comes to like competitive players, you want things to be more fair. You would want like, oh, this guy shouldn't be able to do that because that doesn't make sense. Because how else am I supposed to counter it? Or I think this game is too easy because I'm playing this one character that just for some reason is like breaking the game. So like, it's a lot to do with what players you're talking about and what they want. You know, when it comes to balance.
Fair enough.
Mhm.
So yeah. So I guess the general consensus is that buffs can be good, but like it really depends on the situation and like the players and the current meta, lah, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
pretty much.
It's very 50-50. How about you, Sue? What do you think about buffing characters?
Eh,
Do
I
not say you like
mean,
buff men.
huh?
What?
I
Go on.
mean, muscle mommy. What? Anyways, buffing characters. I mean, if it's like a characters who have like never been touched or been buffed or nerfed before, yeah. But like in my opinion, it's like if you nerf a character and then buffing it in the later, it's just like, I mean, uh, why? It sort of like defeats the purpose of
Yeah.
like nerfing it, because like if you really wanted to balance it, it's like you gotta make sure you don't like nerf it too hard. Maybe you nerf a little, see how like players feedback is. So for example, like, I mean, I would assume a lot of these issues is because of like a lot of like casual players, and then there's like a lot of like proper expert or like hardcore player base. So like if you're like nerfing one, maybe the casual players like it, and then suddenly you have your hardcore fan base who are like very dissatisfied. So I mean, if it's really really trash characters or like people who have never played it, I think buffing it is good because like you want to like, okay, players see the patch notes, or for example, or they see like YouTube videos saying that, okay, this character got buffed for a bit, maybe I'll check it out. So I I think it would like give some like player interest for that one specific characters, or just Ganzo in general.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that's one thing. That when you buff a character, like that may have been like ignored for a while, suddenly all eyes are on him, right? Like, oh, like,
Mm.
oh, what does it do now? You know, is it better? Is it any decent? You know, which is I think like Sue mentioned, I think it's a good way to combat like power creep. Like as we mentioned, like you know, new character comes out, old character looks like crap. You buff old character, maybe they look less like crap now. Maybe they look more like a feces or a stool. Who knows? Like slightly better, you know, more fancy it up a bit, but like I think what Super said also about like the competitive aspect also, like maybe for example sometimes like especially in mobile, there will be those characters who are like completely like useless in like early in like sorry like for like low level rank players. So then like you know maybe the company might be like, let's make it more popular so like easier for like low level players to play and like just better. And all the like the high competitive players are like, what the hell is going on over here? You know, or like the flip side, like you know maybe they nerf a character who is like rampant in low ranks, and then the high rank players are like, "What are you guys doing? What is this dog shit ass nerf?" Wait, this is not the flip side. This is more or less the same thing. But what I mean is like the divide between like the high rank and low rank will always be there, and sometimes I think when you're like balancing a patch, it's like impossible for both sides to be happy. I feel like that's just a given, you know, because like one side saying this thing should be like this, the other side saying, but that's not fun, you know.
I agree because a lot of
Yeah.
these things are like skill based, and it's like some of these characters, some of these items, these weapons, they're like, how good can you be at these things? So it's more to do with like the skill ceiling when it comes to balancing things out as well.
Mm.
Like the average person cannot do what this one pro can do with this one character or these weapons or items. So when people complain about it, it's like, is it really the character, the game, or is it just you as a player?
Skill issue.
It's just so shit that
Skill
you
issue.
can't play the character, like, yeah,
Actually
exactly. That's one
unlucky.
thing. It's You have to
Mm.
consider that as well, I think.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, like, I think like certain, like for example, like Overwatch, right? You know, like let's say look at some abilities. You know, like ultimates, like you know, like Zarya is always good in all ranks. But then you see like ultimates, like Soldier 76 is one, right? And it's like it's made for low ranks. It's like made for people who can't fucking aim. You know, it's like in high rank, it's like okay because like I think it does like remove like the fall off. I'm not sure. I don't remember. I didn't play too much of Overwatch 1, but like it was basically like nothing. It was like compared to like some other ultimates, it did like basically nothing because they could already aim. They don't need auto aim. It's like what
Right,
the hell?
exactly. At high rank, that kind of aim is already like expected. Yeah, sure. There's like the 100% aim, which is like wow, makes maybe like 30% difference, but that's still like for a short period of time, so it doesn't really matter because for the rest of the game, everyone's gonna shoot at you at the same way.
Yeah, exactly. But in low rank, it's like, oh my god, I'm finally unlocking my final form. I can aim now. And then you die anyway because you can aim, but you have a dog shit positioning. So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, that's. I think that's a really important nuance. Also, is that when we're talking about like what makes a game fun, like it's also really subjective to like each like side of the player base. Because like some player base there's like, can I have like random bullshit go and just have fun, and the others is like, but if the AOE is 4 instead of 3, how am I supposed to no clip through it in a team fight? It's like,
Yeah.
and you need to make both people at least moderately okay with the patch and not like cry about it on like Twitter.
I think
That's
why
like part.
in most of the games, developers come up with like different game modes. So they remove restrictions, remove limits, make things a lot easier for people who just want to have fun. That's where you play. Not like in your normal comp matches where you want to like have fun. I don't think it's very fun and competitive unless you're
No.
like, yeah.
I really don't care.
Yeah, everyone just locking in.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's locking in. It's fun as a competitive player to like win, not to like see people fuck around and really like, wow, this is something new I've just discovered. Look,
Yeah, you're playing a rank, and then some guys like looking at like Easter eggs on the map. It's like, bro, guy, do you know they added a snowman in the background? Shut up!
Guys,
They
did
just
you know
start calling you slurs, man. I mean, we're in SEA, right? So like, there's. I'm not naming anyone, but like our neighbors specifically.
Our neighbors. I don't know about you,
we
bro.
got a lot of neighbors.
Yeah, I
I
got
thought you
a
were
lot
talking
of
about me,
neighbors.
but never mind.
Whoa.
Huh?
What?
What?
Anyway, let's move on.
So
So, I mean, I guess we did kind of touch on it, but like, to you guys, what makes a game enjoyable to you? Is it the meta aspect or like the fun, like the more like the actual gameplay, like the fun aspect of it? Key, you want to start first? Do you prefer like do you care more about the meta or like more about like the fun factor in the game?
Honestly, for me, I think because I'm the type of person who just likes to play games for the teehee ha-has. Fun, always. Like, don't nerf the characters that aren't, like, bad or anything. Just let players give feedback and then, like, oh, bless you. Yeah, you see, like, you could nerf that. You can nerf your dad ass, like, sneeze. But we love it.
Yeah, I
so
did.
we don't.
I nerfed it.
So I feel
Would
like
have
I feel like in general, a lot of developers should be taking player feedback more seriously, and should be able to deliver upon that feedback to make players feel heard in general, in order to prioritize having a fun game. And maybe like on the topic of like, because I remember Akid mentioned like, no, it was Zoop, Goldfish memory. Anyway, someone here mentioned like something about like hardcore gamers and then the casual gamers. Why not create different lobbies for them, or like different modes for them to engage in, so that there isn't like too much of like too much clashing between these two like player types. Which again,
Yeah,
like
I think that's what I mentioned. Yeah.
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 Go on. You were saying?
But yeah, I think that separate lobbies or like separate like game modes should be created just to cater to these players, so that no one will like have like any problems with the other person, or like the developers won't be split in between of like having to cater between either or types of players. So if like a if you look at like, I don't know, let's say game A, and then like they have the hardcore players who are like, whoa, I need the meta, and then you got the casual players who are like, heh, go hee hee.
Guys, look at my spray. I used $20 to buy this spray, guys. Look at it. It's brimstone with its balls out. Oh my god.
Look at this spray. Look at my silly tee haha guns and shit. Like I feel like it's really unfair to pit two player types or like two communities actually against each other like that because it's just unfair.
Fair enough. I get what you mean. How about you, Soop?
I have two sides: single player and multiplayer.
Ooh.
There are two wolves in
Let's talk
me.
about both then. Talk about both then. What makes a single player fun and what makes multiplayer fun?
To be honest, it really depends on the game itself. So, like, if you're marketizing like as an RPG, so I expect the gameplay and also the story to be fun. Like, not like others like cosmetics or some shit. I mean, for multiplayers, the most important one is of course the gameplay. But then, some like multiplayer PVE. Yeah, I just like for those like horde based shooter, right? Just like I don't care about the patch. I just want to shoot shit.
Well, Left 4 Dead and shit, right? Or like,
Like
Deep
Helldivers,
Rock
right?
be like peak.
Yeah, Deep
Warframe.
Rock as well. Because I really don't care about like those. I just want to shoot shit and like grind. But if it's like PvP, right? I mean, I've been on the receiving end of CS ability, so like I understand the pain of buffing and nerfing. So like the receiving and also the giver end. So I guess nerfing is good, but then in the end, when you want to play as the character, it's just that it's just not really that fun anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I see what you mean. How about you, Akid?
What was your question again?
What makes to you a video game
Enjoyable?
good / fun?
Okay.
Do you care more about the just the random bullshit go side, like the goofing around, or like the
I think I'm in between because I do enjoy having fun with just like messing around in a game, especially when it's multiplayer. But at the same time, I also like feel good about mastering like a mechanical skill in the game. So for like in League of Legends, when I still played it, I had a lot of fun when I could actually CS. I was like, holy shit, I'm actually last hitting this.
Counter Strike?
Yeah, and then no, in League. So in League of Legends,
I know. Dude, you're about to explain quantum mechanics to a physics professor,
I
bro.
don't-
This is the equivalent, bro. You don't have to tell me what CS is. It's creep score, by the way, murdering children, basically.
yes, I know. Yeah, when you actually like raise your creep score nicely during the entire duration of the match, it's fun. Like, oh shit, I'm actually doing what I'm supposed to do. And like when you're landing skill shots, like wow, it actually landed. And then when you're actually working with your team, it feels great. Like wow, things are working out in our favor. And with games like Valorant or CS, like my aim, I like the fact that when I practice enough, I can actually hit my shots and they're actually accurate. And then I can actually like figure out how to win the round with like within my own capabilities, like outside of like teamwork. Then I know like I can like at least win these fights that can help my team win. And then I started playing Apex last night with two of our friends. It was hard to pick up because there's a lot of things I did not understand. But I think getting to a run around and just shoot at random people for no good reason, it just felt pretty good. I was like, oh my gosh, this guy just died because of me, by the way. Yeah, it feels like learning and mastering a game is what makes it fun for me. And I think this is something like developers can try to encourage by rewarding players. Like I know in some games, for each season of competitiveness, they would give rewards like skins or like whatever currency but I don't think they're that appealing. So it's something they can think about when it comes to like improving the gap in skill, or like helping casual players pick up the competitive side of the game. You know?
I think I more or less have the same sentiment as you, because like I've been playing. I think most of my life I've been playing majority of like multiplayer games, right? Particularly one, but like I've always like had like certain like periods, I guess, where like, you know, maybe like today I'm gonna like try hard, or like another day I'm gonna be like, what if I just goof around and like try some stupid ass like game like play style, you know, like just for fun, you know, or like for example, like when I'm playing Apex, dude. I think you were probably in one of the calls when I was playing it with some of our friends. Like they would make me jump master, and my E button would be spammed at the moment. Like the moment you were able to jump out of the ship, I would jump. Like I would not. I'm not waiting 10 seconds. You know, I'd like maybe it's probably better if I did. You know, but I didn't because because I was bored. I was like, okay, I gotta jump right now, bro. I'm gonna see what happens. And I think there was one point where like we went through like maybe like 11 games in like 10 minutes, just because we kept dying as soon as we landed.
Oh my god!
Like it was like one of the dudes is like Omar, please Omar. It's like they say that, but then they make me the jump master. Like, what do you want me to do, bro? You cut the snake at the head. You're not doing that, bro. You give me the privilege. I'm jumping now. Okay, I may not be like officially diagnosed with ADHD, but playing that game gave me ADHD, bro. I swear to God, I cannot sit still. So I think like for me, it's always been like about balance, I guess. Like sometimes I just want to like random bullshit go, but sometimes I just sit down and like actually like try hard, or like, you know, like theory craft and stuff like that. You know, it's like, okay, in this season this legend is a meta, so I'll be playing this legend. But like then I actually play the game and it's just like everything I theory crafted is out of the window because I'm too busy having fun, you know. So then
Yeah.
that's kind of how I feel about it, lah. Like how I viewed it. And I think it's a pretty decent way to look at it, because I feel like if you focus on one side, you know, you'll eventually get bored, or like it's easier for you to be disappointed, you know. Like if you're all in for the fun, you know, a balance patch might come out, your main gets nerfed, and then you're like, okay, I'm not playing this game anymore. Or like if you're too meta, and like let's say like it takes a while for the patch to release, and like the meta still, you're just like, okay, I'm not playing this game anymore. You know, me, I get bored, I just go random bullshit go. I play like a dog shit character and I just see what happens, you know, that type shit. Ladies. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, that's what I think what makes a game good. But I think okay, we've reached around the 1 hour minute mark. Does anybody else have anything to add on, or can we end the episode now?
None for me.
Okay. How about you? Okay, I guess that's done.
Anything from Soop?
Okay, I think I'll just like give a more or less a summary. So I think we all have like very different interpretations. Not too different, but like more or less we they're different enough for it to not be the same opinion on like what makes the game balanced and what makes it fun. You know, everyone has a different way of approaching it. So I think this is a pretty good episode, like for me at least, because I think, you know, really opened our minds to a lot more perspectives on like how exactly people feel about the game, and like, and I think this is really important for games balance, because we talked a lot about it, but like the what do you even call it, like the community's like opinion and response can sometimes be pretty impactful on like the actual game's balance. You know, for like certain games, they might like listen to player feedback, and like I think one example for and where this was a negative would be in, I think, Marvel Rivals, where people were like asking, they wanted to basically do a rank reset, a mid-season rank reset, right?
Huh?
Because people they wanted the rank to Marvel Rivals wanted to do it, and the entire community cried like, "No, let me keep my rank, please!" And then they were like, "Okay, we're gonna let you keep your rank." And then like a week after they did it, people were like, "Guys, I'm bored. they should have reset the ranks. Like, okay, dude, So I think like the way the community responds to like a game's balance or game state is pretty important. So I think it's really nice that we were all able to share more of our opinions, so like we can kind of have like a more open mind on this thing moving forward. Other than that, I think we can end the episode now. Everyone okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yay.
All right.
All right.
So thank you all for watching the second episode of Intangible Tangents. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
What the fuck is good night?